All right, guys. As I am working out my kinks in my muscles and in my back and everywhere else in my body, which thanks to the chiropractor, this is actually working itself out. Although the pain is still excruciating, it's a lot better than it was. So. From there, I will be finding some type of form of exercise, whether it is a sport or something that will actually regrow the cardio aspects of my heart. Okay. Um, uh, in the last year, there's been a lot of growth as far as getting things back on track. So, um, now, with that being said, okay, just to give you an idea how I've been doing. It's not downhill; it's uphill. But still, I'm at a standstill because um, because of the fluid regaining of my body with the heart failure. That causes an issue, which I've already lost 100 pounds twice, and now I got to do it a third time. So, I started getting insurance, and so on and so on. However, the most important thing now, um, what we are doing here is I have decided, regardless, okay, of all the issues I have with virtualization, it is a mess. It is astronomically unacceptable. Okay, and you know what? I have a choice whether I spend $1,000 to upgrade this PC or use that money towards the server. Okay, now you gotta understand I got two servers. Okay, both hand me downs from a good friend of mine, and one of them I think already has. I mean, it already has hard drives in it. I was shocked about that, and it might even have memory in it. I have to open it up, but nonetheless, I need a VGA monitor. So that's one of the issues I have to deal with, and whether you know it or not, just because you have a HDMI to VGA adapter doesn't mean it's going to work. Okay, all right. Those analog signals or those signaling mechanisms doesn't always work with a converter. A converter or an adapter. So, and it just doesn't work. So I have to find me a VGA, most likely on eBay. Okay, which is which would take me forever to get one, but um, actually, I don't know if Amazon has it. I doubt it because it's probably legacy at this point, which I would not. Okay, let's recorrect that. It is legacy. So the question is, does Amazon still have some legacy aspects of getting those monitors? Now, okay, so this is where we're going to start getting the server up and putting now ESXi on bare metal. Now I don't have to worry about okay ESXi version 5.1, 5.1, 5.5, or 6 because they just now when I say just I mean I'm 3 months old on this information. Okay, so what ends up happening is you kill my desire to use ESXi because you just stop producing it. Okay, as a product. So then 3 months ago, okay, all right, you decide to release it again, and I'm late to the party. All right, and it's a good thing because I decided um, that we're going back that route, and I'm actually distracted here for a second, so sorry about that. And ES6i is back in business, and I believe it's 8.0. Let's actually. I think it is 8.0. 8.0, yeah. So I'm definitely going above what I used to have. I didn't know I had 6.5. I thought it was 6.0. Okay, but nonetheless, if this works, okay, all these go bye bye. Now, okay, so I'm just not dealing with it. Now, what I did yesterday was I used Hyper-V for the first time. Okay, and what's funny is Hyper-V, it's a little more than I would expect for a virtual VM, but it's all doable. Okay, all right. None of it is foreign to me as far as a virtual machine is considered, and it all makes sense. Now, when I use like Generation 2, the shit didn't work. I don't know why. So I went to Generation 1 based on a YouTube video I was watching, and it all worked. Um, I just don't understand some of this virtualization crap. Okay, it seems to be complicated for the sake of complicated. That's why I've always loved VMware. Okay, however, here's the reality. All right, ESXi has been very stable for me, which I haven't used 8.0 yet. Okay, and things just work. Okay, on bare metal. All right, I do not do nested VMs as far as the SSI is concerned because I like it on bare metal. It works. It's solid. Now, the reality is VMware does not have that stability. Okay, um, you know, VMware is fine for I mean, personally, for creating a couple routers and labbing those routers and so on and so on. But there is a huge disconnect with this virtualization, just automatically having a backplane where I can actually communicate with devices, no separation, none whatsoever. Okay, all right. So meaning that I'm just using a damn hub. Okay, and everyone can talk to everyone, and that's not reality. That's not how real equipment works. Okay, so if the isolation and the separation is 8.0 is like 5.1, okay, hell, I mean, I'll go back to 5.1 if I can. All right, so it doesn't really matter as long as it does the job that it does. Now, Hyper-V, everything was working great until I disconnected the cable. Now, here's the thing. Now, keep in mind, I am bridging these interfaces, okay, with the with physical network cards. Now, here's the thing. There's three types with Hyper-V. There's internal, external, and private. Okay, private is pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Internal, which I didn't know I had to watch. I mean, I had to watch like 2 or 3 videos before someone explained it right. Okay, internal gives you the ability. Now they keep calling it a host, and nobody. That's so annoying. Okay, the bottom line is, in a private network, you'll only be able to communicate with other VMs that are in that same in that same private switch. I said it's a private network, but private switch, where I can actually communicate with my host computer, which will be the computer running. Okay, VMware always calls it a host. Hypervisors always call it a host. Okay, the PC that's actually running that particular VM, which will be Hyper-V, right? We can actually, as an internal network, be able to communicate with the actual PC that is running the Hyper-V. Meaning that in a private network, you can only talk to the VMs within Hyper-V. Where, as a internal network, I can communicate with my PC that's running Hyper-V with the other VMs. Okay? And an external host gives me the ability to go outside the network and be able to, communicate with other networks as far as, hell, the internet. Okay? So, pretty cool. However, when I went to disconnect the cable, an interesting thing happened. Check this out. I had router 1 and router 2. Router 2 interface actually came to a down state. I was ecstatic. However, router 1 did not. Okay? So, what the hell? So, half your shit works and half of it doesn't? Okay? If I disconnect a link between the devices, both of those devices should come down. Okay? So, there's just so much inconsistency running a hypervisor on top of an operating system. Okay? And I'm just done with it. Okay? Now, there's no illusions, guys. Okay? And I'm not kidding. Alright? Hold on, I gotta set a timer here. My ass went to bat for you guys to get this thing set up and running. But, okay, instead of doing this, it is wise for me to go to bare metal instead of spending the money to upgrade this PC to do what I wanted to do. Now, yes, I got a hard drive for it. Yes, AMD does not do what I needed to do, but in honesty, it's time to bring that server up and running and bare metal this ESXi server. Okay, so that's what we're going to next. All right. So first of all, I have Security Plus that I have to research to figure out how to schedule it and get it ordered and all that stuff. That's one. Okay, and that's either happening today or tomorrow or whatever. Now, also, I need to get a monitor and I need to set up this desk somehow. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to buy shelves, okay, where the switch is not sitting on the desk. Okay, and I think that will actually be a lot better. I can just hang it on the wall and be done with it. Now, with that being said, that's it. Okay? So that's where we're heading. So thank you guys for letting me vent, and I'll see you on the next one.